Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear presence, it is a good opportunity to present these. It is a good opportunity to present our dear colleague, Ms. Hadi Al-Aziz, her topic, heroism in Tamar Segal Gulf War Poetry. Before discussing the topic, here is the biography. Ms. Hadi Al-Aziz was awarded the BA in English language in 2005. Soon enrolled to the MA program at the College of Education, University of Baghdad. And she obtained the master degree in literature in 2008. In 2008 too, she was enrolled to PhD program at College of Arts, University of Baghdad, and she got the PhD in 2012. Now it's your role just to present your topic.
Good afternoon. I think the subject today is familiar to all of us. It's about war, about heroism, about the deception of poets and warmongers to people to force them or to tempt them to join war. And of course, we all know about heroism long ago. It started as following the tribe leader as a beginning. They should defend the tribe leader first and then defend any kind of possessions they have, including women, money, land, or taking some of other tribes. The hero previously used to be a king. The hero is either a king or a war champion who was made a war champion by chance. And of course, the minute the society conceives of a hero as a war champion, they start to dig deep in his past, dig deep in his birth and his breeding, and make everything look like it was God-made, it was God-sent, and so he was meant to be a hero, not became a hero by accident. And of course, in modern times, the hero changed. Just like in drama, the hero used to be a king, and now the hero is a commoner. Same in poetry. The hero is any one of us. The hero is the soldier, sometimes even the unknown soldier, a nameless person or named, and the king is no more in the picture. The king or the war champion is no more in the picture, but the ordinary soldier. The modern tribe, of course, also changed. Previously, any man used to defend his tribe. Now the tribe has changed because technology made the world one tribe. And thus, if you defend another country, you're a hero as well. So when the Americans come to Iraq, for example, to defend Iraq, they are considered heroes in their own way because they are defending the freedom and democracy for another country. We are one tribe, after all, thanks to technology. Of course, Tamar Segal is a female. She's a female poet. Wrote about the Gulf War, and she wrote pro-war poetry. She wrote before war, and her anthology was sold, or her pamphlet was sold to, the money would go to the Gulf War money box. The idea of heroism in her poetry, of course, develops and is different from American poetry because in modern poetry they use false slogans. For example, they convince their people that they are defending democracy, that they are defending freedom, or they use religion, calling wars holy wars. For example, when they go to Israel and fight, they convince their people that it is holy. It is a holy war, and thus they have to fight it. They can't simply volunteer, they have to go. And of course, if you notice the quotations, if you please, in the pamphlet, in the paper I gave you. The first not hesitate to continue through democracy. And of course, it's very clear to continue through democracy is not inviting them to politics. It's not inviting people to go through politics and forget about wars. Continuing through democracy here is to force other people to follow their own democracy, to follow the West democracy, the West kind of democracy. And the second implication is, just as we talked about using religion, it's also very clear. Unprovoked, the champions of the holy war attack innocent people once more in the Holy Land and give them in no uncertain way to understand. We will make them swim in their own blood. Of course, the threat here, the threat in the last time, she keeps repeating in her poems that the soldiers from the West will defeat the soldiers from the East. It doesn't matter what kind of technology they have, what kind of weapons they have, it's their will, it's their free will, their heroism, their readiness to fight, their readiness to spread the flags of their own countries over other countries. This is actually what matters. And the third, of course, there's the irony. And the third quotation, there is the irony of spreading peace through war. Of course, it's ironical because to force people to go to war and kill them, these people who are killed are deprived of peace. So it's not actually spreading peace, but spreading war and death. Out in the desert, of course, with their powerful, united force, the stars and stripes, and the Union Jack, are determined there will be no turning back until the world is sure there are no means for yet another more deadly war. They keep fighting wars, convincing people that this is a precocious war. We will fight this war, so next time there will be no other war. And of course, they did say that about the First World War, the Second World War. Every time they go to war, they keep saying that. These false slogans, of course, never stop. And the use of religion and, of course, the depiction of the motherland. But because we're short of time, I cannot go through all her poetry, through all the themes of our style, her techniques that she used to spread her idea of heroism, or in her poetry. So this is the main idea of the paper. I would be grateful if you have any questions or if you could make it even better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Saeed, for your presentation. Now it's your role in your presence to present any points, any comments on the proposed title or topic. Please.
Thank you. Well, as you know, initially I had a lecture, and I heard that somebody had asked about me last time. And then I'm here today because I read the paper given to me by the lecturer. And I heard that the whole war is going to be so I intended. So I heard that the whole war is going to take place here, and I intended to be a fighter. Look here, and if we go through the short poem, well, the poet is saying this, right? The poet is said we should not hesitate to continue through democracy. Okay? Unprovoked, up to them, the champions of the whole war, at the end he said, we will make them swim in their own blood. Of course, the sense of sarcasm is clear, right? But I feel, since we are Arabs are fond of two things, Arabs are fond of wars and are fond of chairs, And I will not express to you what I mean by chairs. Look here, I feel that some poets, they try to attack democracy, and by attacking democracy, they attack America, right? And America is a great nation, whether we admit that or not. It is the leading power of this universe. So I feel by attacking this great nation, they feel, I mean the poets, they feel that such a thing will bring fame to them. So instead of attacking democracy, even if it is fake, because for me, by the way, for me there is no war that is holy, just to be frank with you. There is no war that is to be called holy except when you are defending yourself. And even, by the way, even the Islamic liberation wars, there are some doubts about them, by the way. And some historians say that there is nothing which is called, or which are called, Islamic liberation wars, because, the people are peaceful living there. They are living there outside the Islamic borders. They were living peacefully, and the messenger is sent by the prophet, who is supposed to be the prophet of mercy, and he is the prophet of mercy, either to pay the jizya, or to get into Islam, or to what? Or to be fought. If I were Kisra, I would fight. So because I have no other alternative. So this is something definite. There is no war which is holy. But the question, instead of attacking democracy, it would have been better for the poets to attack dictatorship. Dictatorship, because who brought destruction to the world? As I told you, this is the second point. We are fond of chairs. Arabs are fond of chairs. And the question, is it or was it possible to depose Saddam Hussein without the Gulf War? Because we have small chairs which people stick to. You get me? Some people are dehumanized, are humiliated for the sake of a small chair. What about the president's chair? So the trouble is not with democracy, the trouble is with dictatorship.
Okay, there are 3 points. First is the first Gulf War. It's the first, 1991. So it's not talking about deposing a president, it's about defending Kuwait. And she's a pro-war poet, not an anti-war poet. She's British.
Yeah, but it is very clear. You don't agree that
this is not one
the
poem.
sense of sarcasm is clear.
It's not one poem. These are quotations from different poems.
Yeah, but according to the quotations, you have this.
Seems I have chosen the wrong quotation.
She's attacking war, right?
It seems I should have quoted longer quotations.
Yeah.
But the idea, she is actually, she's selling this pamphlet to fund the Gulf War. So she's actually with war, not against war.
But not according to this quotation.
Well, seems you disagree with me about this quotation, but no, she's totally with America. She's totally, yes, she is.
And she said, we will make them swim in their own blood.
Them, yes.
Well, I don't
the enemy.
want to, I don't want to make the short story.
The enemy, she's talking about the enemy.
I'd like to, one thank you. And this is my point of view.
Yes, please.
I have a question. Introducing Siegel, you have said that her poetry is different from the Americans.
Yes.
In what sense, this is number one, in what sense is she different from them? You have already said, and I have gone through the passages taken from, I have seen that she is a pro-war, that she is a pro-war, she's even adapting the American justification of force. This idea of we continue through democracy is American oriented. And this is what the Americans say. We are fighting for democracy.
In this war, they are one army.
I know, this is the. So, in what sense is she different?
She's different because she keeps mentioning the Queen. She's loyal to her country, not to the soldiers. She doesn't mention the soldiers. Actually. The American style of war poetry, they glorify the soldier rather than the kingdom. Now the kingdom is sending these soldiers to free people, so it's the kingdom that is praised here, not the soldiers.
But she also, the second extra, third one, there is a reference to US. line 5.
Reference to US because they are one arm.
The
She
stars,
was
the stars, and the
stripes,
stripes, and the Union Jack.
US flag, and the Union Jack is their flag,
Yeah.
British flag.
Yeah, I mean the one that comes first is
US.
the stars. The stars must be a reference to the US flag.
Yes, it is.
So I mean,
Stars and stripes. It is.
my point is that though she's British, the woman poet here is more American than even the Americans. And in
Just because
adapting.
she mentioned
No, I mean
stripes
in adapting. No, tell me in adapting the American moralities of war causes, yeah, war justification, democracy, and these we will make them so in their blood, in their own blood. I think though this is coded, it must be. I assume it must be a speech by one of the authorities of the 90s.
it's because she's calling it a holy war, a holy land. She's, by the way, in here she's talking about Israel joining war against Iraq.
Yeah.
That's why she mentions the Holy Land.
No, I mean
Giving
the
all-
quoted line, we will make them swim in their own blood.
Simply defending her own soldiers' bravery, or even stating their bravery.
Thank
That
you.
we will win the war, no matter what.
Thank you indeed.
Any other comment? Yes, please.
Mr. do you think that Jamal Siegel's treatment of democracy as a British poet is different from the treatment of democracy in American poetry? Let us say in Walt Whitman's poetry. Do you find
Let's
that
say it's
differences-
the development of Walt Whitman, not exactly the same. Just like the development of the American dream, for example. Previously, you go to Africa and this is the American dream. Now you go to America and you call it the American dream. Now it's different, of course. Democracy is different. For Walt Whitman, it was as even as the grass. Here, it's who controls who. You are free to say what you want, and I will be free to say what I want, and without clashing. This is democracy, they think it is.
Any other comments? Yeah, okay.
As you know, we are not literary people, we are linguists. I've noticed that you have just drawn a certain lesson from what you have quoted and what you have tackled. I don't know, if you want to pass judgments, in this case you should know the scales on which heroism is considered as British scales are not the same as American scales. What is considered to be a hero, who is considered to be a hero in a certain culture, is different from the hero in another. Besides, usually those who take the most important decisions are the superheroes. And those who can make themselves prominent through the sub-events are also heroes, but not as heroic as the ones who have taken the decisions. If I can I'll give you an example. You remember the 8 years war with Iran. How many heroes did we have in that? Countless. But the one, the supreme hero was Saddam Hussein. And you saw that when the war ended, he was the one to be the symbol.
Well, this is a dictator.
What? Sorry?
For a dictator, this is what happened.
What about the queen? She's not a dictator.
The queen is not necessarily.
She's not a dictator. And as Hadid or Madam, democracy in America is different from democracy in us, in our
It's
country.
democracy of the West that they want.
So the scales, stabling the scales is very important in a certain tackling of a certain work. Otherwise, you will have intervening variables.
The East is different from the West. But
I
the
know,
West is
and
united.
that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying.
East and West, but not USA and UK.
West, even in West, what is democratic in Britain is not necessary to be democratic in Belgium, for example, or in France.
I said previously at the beginning that
So what scales have you adopted
for her,
in order to consider that this is a heroic action
of course, I'm studying the techniques she's using.
What techniques?
Techniques, for example,
What
she's
techniques
using
has she
religion to
chosen?
convince people to participate.
What techniques has she chosen?
For example, religion, I'm not talking about linguistic techniques. I'm talking about thematic techniques. And if someone tells you that this war is holy and you have to fight it, then you go. You have to go.
No, this is sometimes describing something to be unholy is just a pretext to initiate certain events.
And
Sometimes it is true, and sometimes it is true.
We are in no position to decide whether it's true or not, but she is using
This is the problem. That's what you should have identified in your work. How do you know that this is true or that is not true? How do you know? You should have a certain...
No, I'm not discussing what's true or what's not.
No,
she's deceiving her people or she's telling the truth.
Sorry.
She's simply using religion to promote for war. That's all. Whether it's true or not, in their religion it's right. Maybe in our religion it's right as well. I'm not discussing
Do you agree with her or not? Do you agree with her?
It doesn't matter. I'm dealing with it objectively. She is using religion. Period. I don't care about, it doesn't matter if religion is used in the right way or not. She is using religion to convince people to come to war.
I think you misunderstood me. What I wanted to tell you actually is that there should be certain stable basis to consider what is to be heroic in order to consider what she has considered as heroic or not heroic.
We have old poetry.
What are your scales?
We have old poetry. In old poetry, for example, they have a god for war.
This is not a scale of poetry. Old poetry is a certain domain. It is a domain, yeah. It is a domain.
It's not like linguistics, I'm sorry. It's not like we have a model. No. We don't have a model. It's not the same.
Yes.
I agree with what Dr. Harid said. If you remember, it was the Gulf War. We have 33 countries against Iraq, and the UK was one of them. So here, their own, rules and their own on directions are the same. So America and the UK here, their aim and their vision of democracy is the same. So I think that she agrees.
They're supposed to free one country because a neighboring country attacked it.
So I guess their own view of this world is the same. So this is what is meant by this poem, I guess.
Any other comments?
The view is united here. Yeah, the American and the British one. This is it.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, I may add something if you don't mind. Here, the idea about terrorism, and the connection between, holy wars and, terrorism. Is there any justification to be given for holy wars to convince that, for example, those who are going to fight, they will be considered as heroes? My point is there a necessity to have, for example, wars and to be heroes? The idea of heroism can be achieved by things that are out of war. This is my.
You mean using religion? Necessary or
not even religion. The connection between holy wars and being considered as heroes. Is there a necessity to have a war and to be a hero? Is there anybody to be considered as hero without involved in wars?
There is someone called Baba Salam, hero.
This is my point.
well, the
So
concept of heroism
the connection.
related to war. The concept of heroism.
So the notion of heroism.
The concept of heroism itself
Yeah.
is related to war, interrelated.
I don't think so. There is no to be considered as hero when there is a war. Heroes can be nominated as heroes without being involved in wars.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
For in
Yeah.
every country. Is
Yeah.
it made for the heroes of peace or for heroes of war?
Yeah, this
Heroes
is,
of peace
this,
as
I may give you another example. How about Gandhi? You know Gandhi. Don't you think that we consider it as a hero?
as a social worker, as a politician, yes, but not a war hero.
So you are concerned?
But he was involved in a war, yeah, I think, yeah.
It
It's
was
not
peace.
necessary to use
politics, not
guns in order to fight.
Well, they are using
A
guns.
hero in ideas. Now we are fighting.
I know, but I'm tackling the war. Oh, I mean,
Can
specifically
you
the Gulf War
specify?
politics. I'm not talking about generally what heroism means. I'm dealing with heroism. I gave an introduction about heroism in the past and how it developed with the influence of technology to heroism nowadays. And of course, heroism nowadays is not restricted to peace, it's fine, but I'm dealing with a war here, with Gulf War specifically.
I see. Any other comments? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, President, for your presence. And I may say that the next presenter will be Mr. Sadiq, but the week after the next. Thank you so much.